it's funny. You talked about sports, and I always credit my coach that I had when I was 7 years old. And at 7, I actually learned how to fail, and I learned how to fall, and I learned how to pick myself up. And I just, I can pinpoint that time in my life at a young age that actually more or less kind of shifted me into that competitive, hardworking drive, but that I don't want to, again, it's not the failure, it's the lesson,
Right.
I was wrestling at 7, 8 years old, and same thing, like we trained and I remember like running when we went out on runs. I don't know how healthy it was, but we were training at a young age, and we were reprimanded, if we didn't work hard enough, and our coach saw it in us, and he made us when we were champions at a pretty young age. But that little lesson that lesson at such a young age was, it was transformative.
Yeah.
And, I think organized sports to some degree, they have a lot of good lessons in it.
They do.
Sure. I mean, the fact that it's not surprising. You said you played 5 sports year round. Yep. You're running a handful of companies year round. Like there's a parallel there.
I've changed it. I've changed that this is my new sport, right?
Yeah.
And it is. There's preseason, or there's kind of like preseason, postseason. There's never off season.
Yeah, yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
But then there's also offensive moves and defensive moves.
For sure.
And you're constantly shifting and pivoting and shifting and pivoting.
Yep.
And you're trying to make your team win.
Yeah,
right.
Game.
And you have to also look at the lineup, right? Mm-hmm. As to who you have in your company. It's like who's a weaker person in your lineup, and then who do you need? It's like you got to be a good recruiter to see what the team needs. But I think a lot of that is from sports, and I think you're right. Like my softball coach in high school, he played professional baseball. He was like 6'5". You didn't smile until he smiled, kind of thing. Like fear of God, right?
Yeah.
And this was before physical things were viewed upon as being bad.
Yeah.
So like I'd be sitting there like talking, and we couldn't talk in practice ever, right? At all. And but somebody asked me something. Somebody said, "What drill are we doing?" And I would be like trying to tell him what we were doing.
Yeah.
And he would like pick up on it because I played outfield.
Yeah.